My name is Avital Hahamy. I am about to start a lab at the Institute of Cognitive Neuroscience. I started my career, I started my bachelor degree studying psychology and biology, and then went on to do a master's degree in neurobiology and then a PhD that was at the Weizmann Institute. And then I moved to the UK where I did my postdoc with Tim Behrens. Yes, so I guess I am a cognitive neuroscientist with a bit of computational background. So I think I worked out the courage to apply. Pretty much now when I feel like I'm more established, that I have more to show for myself and for my career. It is a very prestigious award, so I didn't try to apply it the previous times. It is also the first time that I came to this conference. I think basically from the same reason. When I was doing my PhD, which was my PhD and postdoc focused on neuroimaging, then I felt I needed to be very focused on the things that I'm doing. But now when I'm moving to the next step of my career, I really want to reach out. I really want to reach out to the neurostimulation community, and there are so many exciting new techniques that I like to learn, so many people I'd like to collaborate with. So this award and being here at the conference is just this amazing opportunity, I think. So I really want to understand what's going on in all of our brains right now. I'm interested in naturalistic or natural experiences. I think for many decades, neuroscience has focused on very controlled experiments where you know exactly what you're studying and what you're manipulating, which is amazing. And it taught us so much about the brain. But I kind of felt like during my career that I wanted to embrace the noise. I wanted to try to understand how our brains really work in the wild. So throughout my career, I studied natural behaviors. I studied blind individuals who hallucinate to try to understand what is spontaneous behavior. And I studied people resting and tried to understand what this resting state brain activity represents. I studied people, I studied the sensory motor network. I tried to understand whether like an area that controls your hand, or we think just controls your hand, can it do more depending on your daily behavior. And I found that actually the way you use your body determines how this area is used in your brain. If you're carrying out the function of a hand with your feet, then your feet will be represented in this hand area. So these are things you can get at by looking at natural or naturalistic behavior. And my most recent study actually tried to get at how you can understand a narrative. And a narrative is basically like your everyday life. You wake up in the morning, you do your thing, you go to work, you come back. That's also a narrative. You experience the world in a continuous way. And I found that the way you're making sense of all these continuous experiences, like a narrative or a daily life, is pretty much like a rodent navigates a maze through a process called replay. And I detected that in the human brain. So I definitely want to build on this. I want to continue to explore naturalistic experiences. I think there's so much to gain by trying to understand how we live our daily lives. I think we can reinterpret previous findings in a new way. I think we can access processes, cognitive processes that we couldn't use in controlled experiments. I want to make this even more applicable by trying to understand whether these processes that we can identify in the typical human brain, how do they go wrong in clinical populations? I want to try to make them more causal. What happens if you stimulate an area that we know is involved in a process? This is part of why I'm here. And also, you know, with this surge of LLMs, large language models, I think we can really draw parallels between how a human brain understands a narrative and how a large language model may understand it. And perhaps we could improve the way LLMs work or create better models using LLMs of how the human brain works, which is very exciting to me. my advice would be a dreamer. If your passion lies in a certain idea, which you think is inconceivable, which you think is probably too complicated, just think about it some more. Talk to other clever people. Try to see whether you could actually do that. If we all do the same things, I mean, we're going to gain some knowledge, but it wouldn't be as exciting. So dare, dream big, and just enjoy the ride. This scientific career is really enjoyable. It is stressful at times, but I think it's also really rewarding. Find the good companions to accompany you throughout the way, to hold your hand when you need them to, and just learn and enjoy and make discoveries.